Where does David Beckham stand all time on the English list, do you think?
Well, he stands somewhere in the middle, and this question of his number of caps is becoming quite ridiculous. He was capped again for a 3-minute appearance last night against Belarus, which was nonsense. The previous game, home to Kazakhstan, he was on for 10 minutes. So he's being given caps just to run up his tally, and the terrible suspicion here is that he's been given all these kinds of records as some kind of gesture to brand Beckham, that this is a promotional exercise. Football's changed and substitutions have changed, but Beckham's being obviously indulged to run up this tally of appearances, and quite frankly it's an insult to Bobby Charlton, whose tally he's now passed, Billy Wright, whose tally he passed before that, and now, you know, one more minute in the friendly away to Germany next month and he'll equal Bobby Moore, one of the greatest defenders of all time, the only man to win the World Cup with England, who started every one of his 108 appearances for England. If Bobby was still with us, I don't think he'd be smiling very broadly at that. This is tokenism, this is gestures, and this is typical of the modern craze for celebrity. And here we have a guy who basically retired from serious football when he moved to the United States, if you'll forgive me for saying so. His team are bottom of what's not much better than a pub league in North America, and he's being trotted home to build up his income potential and his celebrity image, and frankly it's disgraceful.
Jeff, what about the England team as a whole, though? They're doing pretty well under the new manager, Fabio Capello, 4 out of 4. That's record-breaking stuff. What are your views on Fabio? Is he the man? Is he universally acclaimed over in the UK?
Well, he's being widely acclaimed. What's particularly interesting is that he's getting results when the team aren't playing particularly well. Now, of course, it's a staple truism of football that if you win when you don't play well, then the odds are that you're going to do extremely well when you hit form. But the performances are not particularly electrifying. Certainly at home to Kazakhstan, until the last 15 minutes, it was pretty appalling stuff. But they're getting there. They're helped by the fact that Rooney's in tremendous form and is banging the goals in, 5 in 3 appearances now. This is very important for him. So the football's not great, the football's not fluent, but the outcome is valuable. What we mustn't forget is that unlike under Wally the Brolly, the Wally with the Brolly, Mr. McLaren, England had no problems at all qualifying under Sven before that, and of course we all know what happened to our Swedish friend. Qualifying competitions can be deceiving. One would like to see England playing with greater fluency, but at the moment you can't argue with the numbers. You know, the goal tally, the goal ratio, and having won all 4 qualifying matches so far is a big improvement on what went immediately before. But the proof of the pudding will be in South Africa, of course, assuming we qualify, which we now have a great chance of doing. But at the moment we're having difficulty against technically good players. Kazakhstan even were slightly more skillful than England. You know, this presumption that we have the best players in the world doesn't quite stand that test in terms of technique, but of course they ran out of steam. And Belarus played some delightful football, but were eventually worn down by the England team, which has, under Capello, rediscovered a sense of purpose and aggression.
All right, Jeff, as always, strong views. Thanks a lot.